So I started this clothing brand, Clean Clothing. So I got the little Glocky switch. About a year ago, I had pretty much been pronounced dead. I was on the ICU floor. I was given like a 50-50 chance of whether I was gonna be brain dead or not. Woke up, figured I got a second chance at life. I might as well just do what I really like to do, which is doing clothing, and fashion has always been a big thing for me. I started out using drugs when I was 14 years old. When I'm talking about weed, I fought in the great Oxycontin wars of 2008, when them things were everywhere. Eventually graduated on to heroin, did heroin for 5-6 years. If you ever seen the show We Own the City, that dealer in the show, Brill, that was my man. Still talk to him to this day. Basically, I had 7 years clean. I had gone through a rough period of time where I was going through the death of my father, who was murdered down in the city. I had a relationship that had broken off and I was having trouble sleeping, and a doctor prescribed me Xanax to help me with sleep. 1 milligram in the morning, 1 milligram at night. Well, that ended up turning into a terrible addiction that spiraled out of control very quickly over the course of 6 months. I ended up getting multiple charges, one of them being fleeing and eluding, a DUI, and also the biggest one is a speeding ticket in Virginia. After about 6 months of this hellhole of addiction, everything was going bad. I was losing everything so quickly. I decided I was just gonna stop cold turkey. I hit the bathroom floor with a blanket and a pillow. I was gonna rock it out like I did back in my old days. But come to find out, you can't just kick Xanax cold turkey. It's similar to alcohol, where you end up going into seizures, hallucinations, and that same ex that I ended up using over actually found me dead on the bathroom floor and called the ambulance to come save me, which in turn turned into me being in a coma for a couple days. Now, after I woken up from this coma, I'd kind of come to terms with the fact I'm not always gonna be around, and coming to grips with my own mortality, I thought, maybe I should try to follow my own dreams and try to find something that I really love and follow that instead of just running a construction company. So I spent the next few months researching everything about it. After having to do 30 days in jail, say, a little key tip there. So after the 30 days in jail that I spent reading and learning about everything I could about how to start a clothing brand, started watching YouTube videos on how to start a clothing brand, started looking at different methods that everybody else used as far as the hundreds, Off-White, essentials, like everybody I could get a little bit of game from, I got a little bit of game from. I was at a low point in my life. I had just kicked drugs, which to be honest, was super embarrassing because I thought I was way past that point in my life, like I was when I was a kid still using heroin, and then go back to another detox facility and realize that I just started all over again was super humbling, to be honest. So here I am, back at square one, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do now, because I had already kind of destroyed my construction business that I had run most of my adult career, and figure out what I'm gonna do to leave a mark on people, and leave my mark in general in this world if and when that time comes where I'm not here anymore. I've been in construction for most of my life. I have run my own business in construction. I've done very well with it, but it is not where my heart lies. So, in enters the idea to make my own clothing brand, Clean Clothing. Also, just for record, nothing to do with the fact that I'm clean from drugs. This was an idea I had a while ago when I first thought about the idea of running a business in the clothing industry. And I just like the idea of like, that's a clean outfit. Figured that if it does work out, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So here I am, and it's been working out great. One thing I really want to touch on is the fact that once this thing is going and I can bring on employees, the only people I'm hiring is felons. When I was in the system, I saw how there's so many people in there that are only in there for the sheer fact that they don't have anything else going for them out on the streets. What I want more than anything is to have a business completely ran by felons. Felon fashion, if you will. I just want to be able to give these people a chance that society has thrown to the side because of a mistake they made when they were younger. That's the goal in all this. That's what I really want to be able to achieve, is to be able to bring these people in and give them a chance at life that they weren't going to have otherwise. I watched for years, and myself included, go out and spend thousands of dollars on designer brand just for the name. And a lot of the times the stuff doesn't even fit good, it doesn't even look all that great, but you're paying all this money for the name anyway. So I was like, if they can do it, why can't I do it? I mean, really, it's just a matter of like a following and some cool designs, when really it's so much more than that. But at the time, that's what I was thinking. I was also thinking to myself, you know what? If I end up making it and everyone likes my stuff, great. But if not, I'm gonna have a bunch of dope designs that I like and I design. So either way, it's kind of gonna work out. So in the process of learning all these different brands and what they had done to make their thing pop, I stumbled across a lot of really cool ideas to be able to market your brand. And I figured once I get mine going, which has been going great so far, I've made $20,000 in the first 2 months I've started off the ground, I would go to share this information with other people to try to help them get their brand off the ground. Now, a lot of my videos are gonna have a lot of jokes and a lot of dumb stuff thrown in there, but the reality is I do wanna give you a lot of this game, and I do wanna give you a lot of help on getting your stuff started off the ground. I'm doing everything by myself right now. I'm recording everything by myself. I'm doing all my designs by myself, prints, all that. I'm doing it all myself. And I hope you guys end up liking it. You know, it's really something that's close and near and dear to my heart because it's coming straight from me, nobody else. And that's how I'm trying to build my online presence, to know that it's not just some huge organization, that it's me just trying to help and give out game to people who are also like me and trying to get into the fashion industry. But yeah, a lot of my videos are gonna be mainly just about pulling the tips and tricks from all the greats that did it before me and showing y'all some of these methods to marketing your brand, designing your brand, how to get it up and going. Give y'all a little bit of a round in case you guys want to do it. Because I love fashion at the end of the day. Like, I genuinely do love fashion. So to think that there's some other brand out there like Awful Lot of Cough Syrup or Hellstar or Essentials that just doesn't know how to get started, doesn't know where to go, and I can be a part of helping them one day meet them later on in life, and they can be like, yo, I watched your videos and help me get there, da 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 da. It's dope to me. I love that. I love the idea of that. I don't know if I'm ever going to blow and be huge. I don't know if I ever want that. The main thing I want to do with this is to be able to create jobs for people coming home from prison. That is my whole goal in all this. One of the things I learned early on is the fact that you gotta build your brand around some kind of community. Now, me personally, I love hip hop. I'm a huge hip hop fan. You see a lot of hip hop in my designs, especially like on the back where I write the wording at, and I have a lot of the messages. A lot of it comes from some of my favorite hip hop songs that I find to be a little bit more relevant to life now. So that's something I really want to get across, is the fact that community or some kind of like thing that you can kind of build your brand around, that's super important. Every single major player in the fashion industry, you know, the hundreds, Off-White, they all say that community-built brands are the best. I mean, if you look at Tap Out, I mean, Tap Out isn't a streetwear brand, but Tap Out was the brand of the UFC. I mean, they were everything, especially back in like the early 2010s. Everybody had on Tap Out, and that was like the only UFC brand around, and that's because they built that around the community of the UFC, and that's how it made it so big. Waking up in that hospital bed, not knowing if I was gonna ever be normal again, is something that really changed me. I woke up not knowing if I was ever gonna be able to walk again, not knowing if I was gonna be able to talk right again, you know, not being able to sleep for an entire month, not knowing if I was gonna ever have a career again because I had done so much damage to my construction business leading up to this. Luckily, I was able to save that and go on, but still, it was so much turmoil that I had to deal with in building myself back up. And the beauty in all this is that through all this, I was able to create a brand built around something I love, which is rap music, street culture, and all that. So it turned into something beautiful, and I hope that there's other people out there who are going through the same rough time, that they can also turn their life around and do something great just like I was able to do, luckily with the grace of God. So yeah, ask any questions in the comments or message me any questions about anything you'd like to see, any videos you'd like to see, any questions you have on how to get started. When I started this out, I had nothing. I mean, literally did not have 2 nickels to rub together. I had nobody in my life. I had no friends, no family, no nothing. And I was able to grow this from literally nothing into what I have now. I have my construction business back. I have this clothing brand that's doing very well and seems to be working out for me to the point where I can stop the construction business altogether and just do this full time. And if there's anything I can do to help you, anything you'd like to see, please let me know. I would love to do a video on it. I really am not a social media guy. You'll notice that you won't really find a whole lot of me on social media in general, But at the same time, I do want to grow my brand's presence, and I do want to grow my online presence in order to make the brand grow more. And I'd love to interact with people in general and be able to teach them something. There's so many options now to be able to start your own brand. I mean, the internet is set up for people who are trying to start out. You have print on demand, where you don't even really have to have any money built up to start this. You can set up an online manufacturer to where you just send them designs and put it on a website, and then as soon as an order comes in, the online manufacturer automatically sends it out to your order, so where you don't really have to do a whole lot. So there's so many options out there, and I'll go over all of them as they're requested and do whatever it takes to help you guys get started. I don't want to be this huge YouTuber who and I don't think I'll ever be this huge YouTuber, but I don't want to be that person who doesn't respond to people and makes videos straight for the views. I really want to just help out the community and help people get started. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. My brand again is Clean Clothing. Yeah, that's a little bit about me and my brand. Again, my brand is Clean Clothing, CLEANE, clothing.store. Every month I do a different drop, and each drop has something that it revolves around. The first one was called The Comeback, and that was more or less just about starting from the ground up, and I kind of showed that through the artwork in the t-shirts and the other articles of clothing I sell. The second one was called God's Angels, which revolved around people that were on the earth to kind of make the earth change a little bit and do better, such as Virgil Abloh, who kind of changed streetwear forever, Kurt Cobain, who changed music forever with the grunge music scene. And every month I'm going to do a different drop. I did one for 90s cartoons, which really doesn't have a whole lot of significant meaning, but it was something that meant a lot to me. And the next month I think is going to be probably about a memorial for one of my favorite rappers. With also trying to follow the guidelines of not doing anything copywritten. So I'm gonna try to like veer my way around that. But yeah, so each month has a significant meaning to me and what I'm gonna do. Also, at some point, I'm gonna kind of tell the story about what happened when I died, and talk about the things I saw in the, whatever you wanna call that, the midlife, afterlife, whatever it is. Because there's a lot of really wild things I saw. You know, they say that, you know, you probably seen the whole joke of like, I went to sleep and woke up at a Lil Peep concert. Well, like, I literally went to sleep and woke up at a Juice WRLD concert. Like, Juice WRLD was there, and there was Snoop Dogg there, and it was like a whole bunch of wild stuff that I saw when I went over. The whole like life flashing before you thing, that's 100% true. A lot of wild stuff I saw that I'm also going to talk about and kind of show throughout my clothing. So I hope you guys enjoy it. So yeah. Super grateful for the fact that I'm still here today. I'm super grateful for the fact that I'm able to have this second chance at life and be able to do what I love and be able to create and design. And even though I'm not where I want to be yet, I'm still way farther along than where I was. You know, eventually I want to have a store in Melrose. That's the ultimate goal in all of this. And then have a store in Miami as well. Those two locations are just something I've wanted my whole life. So that's where I plan on going with this. And I hope that you guys will follow me along the way. I'm bringing on some guests that tell their point of view on what they did. I'm gonna be doing videos on every different topic, from how to get blanks and where to be able to get the licensing, because that's like super important that they don't tell you on a lot of videos, is where to get the licensing to be able to get the blanks in general. And that's what I want to do with all this, is just be able to help other people get there. So if there's anything, again, that you need help with, please message me. I'll be glad to help. And thanks for watching.